can do it.
Yeah, yeah, please do. For some reason, it's eating all of my bandwidth to be on Hangouts. I think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is another scene, the first scene in some time, actually, for Tarheel by Dark. This evening finds Miss Constance Hopkins of Clan Tremere, as well as Mr. Woodrow Dannington, Duke of the East Carolina District, visiting the Wake District this evening as a something of kindred interest or perceived kindred interest has been made aware to the kindred community in the state. The traveling Genghis Khan artifact exhibit has made its presence known that will be opening next week, beginning next week. The Miss Hopkins has had a chance to do a bit of online research into this exhibit and has some suspicions about a number of the artifacts that are scheduled to be on display. She has arranged through a variety of contacts and greasing of palms for a quote-unquote private tour of the museum itself where this exhibit is to be held at. Mr. Dannington also received a similar a copy of this information, again as did all kindred, and also has elected to visit this evening as
although
in a
although he has not
private
made
tour.
arrangements to go in, he is going in obfuscated behind whenever a door opens.
Okay. And like I said, and for record keeping, Prince Josiah has made the museum aware of the possibility of visitors this evening, and also has made you two specifically, or at least you, Miss Hopkins, aware that he
Okay.
does have a number of ghouls that are in the employ of the museum that can be of
Good.
assistance as far as security, quote unquote.
Sure. I will
Woodrow,
make use of that resource when it comes up.
And also for record keeping purposes, the museum where this is being held again, it's the North Carolina Natural Sciences Museum. If anybody, and this is for players that are watching this thing as well after the fact, this is a legitimate IRL museum that does have a website that you can do IRL research on if you'd like. The museum itself is exactly 1 block from the governor's mansion, where Prince Josiah typically holds his courts, and between the governor's mansion there is a public parking lot and the Science Museum as well as the State's History Museum is in the next block over. Across from that parking lot is the State Archives. And again, this is just for geographical purposes.
so could somebody roll me 9 dice?
All right, let me see if Dice Stream's going to cooperate with me this evening. I know it's working.
I can get it if it's quicker.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like I said, you probably can get to it quicker. Right, and like I said, and for while you're getting that pulled up there, Pax, um, the museum itself, like I said, it consists of 2 buildings. which actually is on the about literally half of the block that it's on encompasses
Okay.
a about a 3 to 4 story building, as well as a glass covered walkway that goes across the highway over to another what looks to be newer building, also of about 3 or 4 stories. There's a very large globe that is seated in between these two buildings, almost as if it's sitting right in the middle of the road itself. That globe is appears to be illuminated from the inside, almost like an LED type illumination.
Sure.
The lights, there are a small number of low lighting on in the museum this evening. Looks more like security lighting than anything else. And as you guys, and you'll see this too when you get there, get there as well, Woodrow. The place does have a pretty active security detail that's moving around the building.
Sure.
Um, the History Museum across the block there is also closed this evening. Same thing, security lighting is the only thing that you see.
Sure. That's fine. Did that thing ever come up? PAX.
Yes. Um, so Constance arrives with her personal assistant, as she's, I guess, badge identified as,
Uh,
her
oh,
ghoul.
quick question. Did you ever roll those 9 dice?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
didn't. I didn't know you were waiting on me. I'm sorry about that.
yeah, as I say, because if you had, we didn't see, neither one of us saw it displayed. This was
There you are, off mine, if it comes up.
Okay.
looks like
That's
one.
cool. No, no, no. This is a level 1 ritual, and it's 3 plus the level of the ritual for rolling rituals. So
Oh,
I got plenty of successes. I'm activating the ritual Sense the Mystical.
all right.
And um, the ritual says, oh, hold on, things being screwy. Here. The effect of this ritual lasts a number of hours equal to successes scored. It can detect thaumaturgy, necromancy, other blood magics. Also, it does not pick up normal disciplines. It says it senses resonance on magical item, objects, and effects. Um,
Okay.
Ooh,
and to
Quite useful to
and
me,
have.
you said how many actual successes here?
I have like 7 hours worth of it active.
Okay, cool. You're fine. Yeah, you got it with no problem. Um, again, as you approach,
Okay.
I'm assuming that you guys basically, I'm assuming, Constance, that your driver parked in that same parking lot that I was just referring to, because it's literally like it's the closest parking lot to the museum. I said, well, we'll get to that in a moment. All right. As you have approached the building, Woodrow, that ritual is basically pinging all over. It's pinging quite a bit. As far as actual, strong signals, the majority of them are coming from within the History Museum,
Sure.
which, granted, you would have expected that. But there are 2 or 3 from within the Science Museum where the exhibit is actually supposed to be at.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna check the gemstones, the cool stones from uh, underneath North Carolina, because
Cool.
There's one in one building and one in another building, and then I was going to check the history and the Genghis Khan exhibit.
Okay. Well, like I said, the History Museum it's locked up tight this evening.
Right. Well, what I'm waiting
Like that
for.
would stop you.
I'm waiting for someone else to come in so that I can sneak in with obfuscate, so there's not somebody eyeballing me,
Right.
or a guard shift change or whatever. At some point, some door has to open.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, like I said, Constance, you have now. Are you obfuscated, Woodrow?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Constance
Aspect
is not.
versus obfuscate ratings, because I just know. Do you?
Aspect 3.
Okay. I'm almost sure Woodrow's obs is higher than that, without even looking at the sheet.
It's equal to, so she can have a roll.
Okay.
Might as well, yeah. So that's perception awareness,
Perception alertness.
I believe.
Yeah, alertness.
Alertness. Perception alertness. So that's, well, I have no dots on alertness apparently. So is that just straight perception
just-
at a +1
yeah,
difficulty?
Perception. Yeah, just standard perception. Okay. Well, I'll do it at a perception perception +1. Yeah.
Okay.
It's also dark as pitch outside tonight.
Probably not.
By the way, I'm
It's a
also
single success.
I vist my face to look differently. But yeah, can you roll my stuff too there, Pax?
Sure, no problem. Dice
Dex.
pool.
Yep, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's Dex. Dex.
I just need to know the number to roll.
Oh, 9 dice.
Okay. I think it's subterfuge, actually. I was looking it up earlier.
You could be right. I don't know.
I think it's subterfuge. I don't know.
Well, in this case,
I think subterfuge is for when you're vanishing, though. Not for when you're just out.
Oh, okay.
I'll double check.
9 dice anyway. Here you go.
Double check for this. Because this particular roll could be.
It's actually, the storyteller should call for, no. Let's see here. Let's see, obfuscate Kindred.
Yeah, because it could actually matter here.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't.
Seeing the unseen. On page, I've got it right here. On page 150 of the V20. When a vampire tries to use her heightened perceptions, which I have to have up, I haven't declared them yet, but I would have them up.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
We can roll. Notices to notice a kindred hidden with obfuscate, she detects the subject's presence or if her aspect is higher, and she succeeds at a perception awareness, difficulty equals 7, minus the number of dots from which the aspect succeeds the obfuscate. If the two ratings are equal, it's perception awareness against manipulation subterfuge.
Manipulation subterfuge, cool.
All right, rolling it. There we go. Let it ride.
Difficulty for both is 7.
Okay. Is your wits awareness a better roll for you?
My wits awareness?
Yeah. Because isn't that what they said? That's what you roll.
No, it's perception awareness.
Okay.
It's the same. Perception awareness against your manipulation subterfuge.
Okay, cool then. Then I have 5 dice for manipulation subterfuge.
Okay. Oops, clear that. Is it showing?
Nope.
It might just be might be delayed.
I think so. So it's 4, 8, 1, 2, and 8.
All right.
1 success traditionally. If
Yeah,
I can,
So
I don't know why it's not showing.
yeah, because you have that thing that
Okay.
that ignores the first one.
yeah, I ignored
Oh,
the first
sure.
one on every roll, so I have two.
So you win, sir.
Yeah, he would win.
Cool.
And I'm popping heightened senses and to start, and then once I get in,
Yeah.
and can start rolling not awareness, alertness. I can.
Okay, with your heightened
Uh,
senses,
Prospecting.
are you focusing on one
Sorry?
sense anymore than the other with your heightened senses?
Um,
I
am I
assume it's
focusing
sight.
on? Sorry, repeat that.
He's asking if you're focusing your heightened senses on one sense, such as sight.
Oh yes,
Or
sight.
or more general?
He is
Give me
focusing
a
sight.
little bit better demonstration.
No, typically people do that, use a specific sense for that.
Sorry.
Yeah, typically everybody that I've seen use it in Tarheel so far has had it focus on a particular one. I didn't know if you wanted to do that too.
Okay.
Yeah, he said sight.
Um,
Okay, I
yeah,
missed it. I'm sorry.
sight's gonna do the best at this point. She takes off her glasses, puts them, in a case in her pocket, and pops sight.
All right. Now, like I said, here outside of the museum, you do see, there's banners hanging for the exhibit, all over the place. There's even there's basically a line Q starts here placard that's out in the corridor. But like I said, the museum itself has been locked up tight. Other than, the only thing you see is, just a few, maybe two, maybe three people that are actually walking around in the museum. It's in the museum proper.
Um, so yeah, we walk up to whatever entrance we've been instructed to enter. I don't know if it's the front or what have you. Um I would arrive and basically present myself in my ghoul.
All right, yeah, Pax got a slight delay.
Okay, well, while he's delayed, I'll just say that I'm going to just sneak on in when they are allowed in.
Cool. Do you have anything magnetic on you, or anything?
Uh, yeah, I would
Okay.
have my gauntlets. They would probably go off if I had time to get there. If I was there before PAX and I was there obfuscated waiting on someone to go in, though, if I saw that if there's an obvious metal detector, I would take it off. If there's a not obvious metal detector, then I would not have taken it off.
Yeah. Well, you'd be able to see that there is a metal detector before you step in. You wouldn't have seen it on the approach, but you would have seen it before coming inside.
Okay, can I make a little roll?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Do you? I don't know how we're going to do it since PAX is kind of lagged out right now. But I have 10 dice to activate Path of Thaumaturgy.
Are you okay with me physically rolling
Yeah.
here?
Will, I trust you. Whatever. Yeah, you just roll whatever, and you tell me the result.
All right. So you said 10.
Yep.
Like I said, if so, Pax, if you can get this pool rolled before I do happen to roll it, so be it. But I'm going to use my physical roll as a backup, because you got a slight some slight technical issue. All right, and again, just to double check, you did say 10 correctly?
Yes.
Correct? All right, 6. All my D10s would be at the bottom of this bag. All right, 10 die coming up. All right, that looks like 2, 4 successes.
All right. I'll use level 1 11 bolt to turn off the scanner.
Cool. All right, Pax is inside again. Like I said, as you're disappearing. That works too. Actually, you do see one of the security guards there, though. You see he looks up toward the metal detector as if he saw something. You did see. I mean, obviously, you didn't see any kind of a connection happen, or anything like a physical, like anything physically from you to the metal detector. But you do see what looked like a small electrical spark emitted from it about the same time that you did the ritual. And that looks like that's what that particular guard is looking at.
Okay, well, that is what it is. I can't make that not be there.
Yeah.
So
I'll have him go ahead and step inside, then you can step in behind him there.
All right.
Like I said, as you're able to step behind him there, what immediately catches your attention, and like I said, I'll describe this to him when and if he can get back in. What immediately catches your attention is that there are a number of what look to be heavily secured wooden crates here on the first floor of the museum. They do not appear to have any kind of actual marking on them, but you do see that there is what looks like a clear envelope, almost like a sheet protector, that is taped almost like a self-adhesive tape to the side of each one of the crates.
Okay. So I'll go up and read those.
The only thing you see physically written on them are the words "handle with care."
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, then I don't have to get up close and read those. But I'll pass by them with my candles and everything. With my candle.
Yeah. All right. It looks like, as best you can tell, the that self-seal envelope or whatever it is has some kind of a document on each one, and you're close enough that you can make out the top of the document, but not the smaller text below it. That each one appears to be either something like a contents inventory or a shipping bill or something to that effect.
Well, I have heightened senses, so I like to read them and look.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that's what it is. It's a shipping. It's a bill of shipping.
Sure. Okay.
The
go ahead.
the point of origin, as best you can tell, looks to be it's actually written FOB, as in with no periods between the three letters. FOB, New York, NY.
Okay.
As well as no actual no full address, more of a zip code. And the destination is listed as this museum.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do
and that's there's 3 of these crates here, all about equal size. Some a little bit of variation between height and width,
Uh-huh.
and all three of them are marked like that.
Okay. So are these crates like completely sealed, or they're like small gaps, or what?
No, they're sealed. They're sealed tight, as best you can tell, to the
Okay.
point that it looks like you would need to actually force them open to be able to get to the contents.
All right. Well, I'll come back to that. I will start looking. We'll just start at the rocks.
Okay. All right. You notice that there is an escalator that goes up to the second floor.
Sure. I'll go there.
Obviously, it's not on right now, but as I've heard said, an escalator is never broken; it just turns into stairs.
Yep.
There's also a freight elevator that you could that looks to be accessible.
Yeah. For what I'm going to do for now is spend one blood, shift to flight. Well, I can't shift to flight form because my candle won't work. So I'll just walk up and then go check out the upstairs. I know on the second floor is where the cool gemstones are, and I will just take my thing around the gemstones to see if there are any of them that are like magical or whatever weird.
Actually, one of the signatures that you are getting off of that initial ritual, off the mysticism ritual, is pinging from up on this second story,
Sure.
and in the process of following it, it does bring you over to one of the cases where those minerals are located.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
The that following that ping brings you to does bring you to one of the mineral cases.
Okay. Cool. I'll go look at it.
It's looks to be an actual, uncut, naturally. They haven't even pulled it. The gem itself hadn't even been pulled from the rock. Looks like the rock itself, or the stone that the gem was in, was just removed all, intact as one specimen.
Hmm.
And it is listed as a smoky amethyst,
Sure.
and there is a small note at the bottom of that basically just tells this is what this is, and little information about it. But there is a small print note at the bottom that reads on loan from Natural History Museum, Washington, D.C.
Okay. I'm gonna take a video of that rock with my phone.
Copy that.
Okay. Uh, and then I will move uh, to is both the history and the Genghis Khan exhibit locked up?
Yeah, actually, up on the exhibit hall itself is actually, I don't recall IRL if that's on the second or third story. I'm almost sure it's on the second story. The exhibit hall itself is locked up. It's a Can't even actually see into it thoroughly. There's a large like almost like a bloodish like a blood crimson red wall on the
Mm-hmm.
other side of the exhibit hall. The hall itself is a series of the main entrance door is like a glass wall that
Sure.
has a glass door in it. On the other side of that door, you do see that they put up that same like crimson red wall that basically has the exhibit logo on it, and posted on the wall on the door from the other side of the exhibit hall is basically an advertisement, coming soon, and it has the dates.
Okay. So is this one of those exhibit halls that that you can like see from another story or whatever, or is it just like one totally enclosed space?
It's enclosed. It is completely enclosed.
Okay.
Other than that glass wall, it's completely enclosed.
Sure. Um,
Also, excuse me, there was one thing I did forget to mention. That same sign that talks about coming soon. There's a note on it for to see that tickets can be purchased on the first floor at the customer service counter.
sure. Um, so I guess I will. So the exhibit hall is closed, and also the historical part is closed. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Well, the historical stuff is always going to be here, so I'm going to sneak in on this Genghis Khan stuff. I will look around for cameras pointed at the exhibit hall, and then I will attempt to fry them with my power.
You actually do
Temporarily.
not physically see, and you've noticed this oddly enough. Um, you've noticed this. There's oddly doesn't even appear to be so much as a single security camera anywhere on in the exhibits.
Oh,
I mean,
okay, cool.
you've pretty much been walking around the whole place. You even briefly stopped in and had a look at the whale skeleton specimens. Like I said, you noticed the on your way up the escalator. You noticed the dioramas out on that floor. You didn't see any security cameras on it either. That, like I said, the
Okay.
whole place is just oddly devoid of security cameras.
All right then.
Although what you do see, if you got close enough, and you would have because you got close enough to take footage of that gym, you do see there's a red, what looks to be like a flashing red light
Uh-huh.
near the barrier wall of each one of these exhibits.
Like tripwire type thing, or
Yeah,
like okay,
you're not sure if it's tripwire or something electronic.
sure.
It sort of looks like what the same kind of flashing red light you would expect to see on a security camera, but if this place has cameras, they're really well hidden.
All right. Well, once again, I don't look like Woody, so
Yep, exactly.
um, I will wait for a guard to go by, and then I will attempt to quickly pick the lock.
Okay. And this is the lot to the
Exhibit
special
hall.
exhibit hall you're
Yeah.
referring to, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now that you've got close enough to really look to really look thoroughly, you do notice there's what looks to be like a key card lock on that door.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a pretty substantial knowledge of computers. Um, is this the kind of thing that if I shut it off, it'll unlock or stay locked or what?
Uh, it most likely wouldn't unlock it. This almost looks like it could like an RF technology kind of thing.
Sure. So it's a key slider?
Yeah. Well, it's more not exactly a slider. It's more of a put your card up to it and it unlocks.
Sure. Uh, mm, I will try to watch the guards and see if they have something that looks like it would open this up.
A few moments of watching, you do see that you do see what looks to be some kind of some kind of card on a pull chain that is attached to their belt loops.
Sure. So I'd have to like undo the chain.
Either that, you'd have to get a hold of that card somehow.
Hmm.
Knock out a guard or grab it or something.
Is it possible to take off like with me blowing a blood for feral claws for the really sharp claws, and like quickly slicing the belt loop and getting it? Like a
Tell
really
you what,
high
I'll have
pitched
you
stealth roll?
tell you what, we'll roll for it.
Yeah.
All right, what is your Dex stealth pool?
Hmm. 14.
Jesus. I don't know if I got 14 D10s. All right, there's 12. Yeah, I got them. Yep, combat god, at it again. Oh yeah, you got it with no problem. He didn't even hear the wind off of it.
Well,
All right, now that you've acquired this card, you can see that it reads Capstone, CAPSTONE, security.
okay.
And you do see what looks like an RF chip in the card.
Cool. Well, that will I steal it and quickly reobfuscate, and then I will go to the door and go in.
All right, the door, for a moment there, seems like it doesn't want to unlock. And like it's like it almost like feels like it's like a couple of seconds delay. And you both hear and see, you see a light that was red turns to green, and you hear an audible click.
And I'll slide in.
Right. As you do so, the hall is oddly quiet, minus the shuffling of what sounds like a couple of different set of feet, as well as a low murmur of conversation.
Sure. I have heightened senses and eyes of the beast, and I'll activate them and just shuffle on through.
All right. As soon as you turn the corner, what you see is it's almost like a T intersection.
Mm-hmm.
As you step inside, one side of this T intersection looks like it's a makeshift wall has been put up, and it's that same crimson blood red color.
Uh-huh.
But the other side of the intersection opens into again, everything looks to be makeshift, like sets, like things that are supposed to be set up like this. The other side of that T intersection opens up into a makeshift corridor. You do see there are markings on the actual wall of where each one looks like there's a number marked on the wall as well, and it looks like it's in chalk. There's a number marked there, and on different ones looks like there's small like notes the word left is written on one of them. A little further down on the wall, you see the word black written under the number. It looks like their construction notes is what they look like.
Sure.
That makeshift corridor opens up into a larger part of the exhibit hall. In this part, there are a number of the artifacts themselves are sitting in this part of the exhibit hall. They are already in their display cases, but obviously, they're not in their final positions because they're not even in a traversable manner that you could actually view them. Well, you could, but it's more or less they're more bunched against the wall as if they're waiting, almost like you would expect to see if someone were moving into a new house and
Yeah.
we're just putting their stuff in the house just to get it in there.
All right. I'll continue to just kind of like roll through.
Okay.
Going up to
All
each
right.
one, waving the candle over it to make sure it doesn't register.
Okay. All right. Now, like I said, what you see before you is the same thing. Like the video that that PJ watched, not Woodrow.
Mm-hmm.
The same glass displays that the artifacts are in the video, they're already in those displays. They're just not in place.
Sure, absolutely.
All right. As you continue to to meander around, that they have completed the recreation of the palace scene, that scene that had the red walls with the decorations on them.
Mm-hmm.
That amount has been completed. As you step through it, that you just start feeling something just feels a little odd. That same feeling you get when when something of the supernatural is just that uneasy tingling of the spine, you're beginning to feel it in this area.
Okay.
This particular area looks like the exhibits are in place.
Okay.
As you continue through,
I'm definitely
as you
easing through carefully, keeping my eye on everything around me, looking around, moving slowly.
yep, as you continue through, you find yourself in that same room that the siege weapons are displayed in. They are here. They are in position. Also on the wall, you see that there is a large white chalk X that has been drawn there with a capital letter V as in victory has been drawn beneath that X.
Huh. Okay.
Again, as you
Like
continue through the main.
like in the same fashion as like the crafting notes?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay.
As you continue through, you are immediately hit with that same supernatural sense again. Then it hits you. There's a plaque that is hanging on the side wall as you step through what looks to be like where a door would be, but there's no door. There is a plaque hanging right there on the wall, actually on both sides of the wall, as well as you see that there is what looks to be like a computer screen that is being projected onto the floor in front of you. And this isn't the same screen that displays the map like you saw in the video. This actually looks like a Windows 8 desktop that's being displayed onto the floor. On either side of the wall is a message that reads pretty much to the effect of human remains are in the room above, in the room ahead. Please observe proper respect.
Okay. I'll
As
go
you
in.
step into that room, your ritual pinging smacks you in the face. And yes, this is the room you think it is.
All right, Mumra. Okay. So I guess
She
I
is
will.
actually in place. That specimen looks like it's been put into its proper place. This whole room actually does. It looks like they put more of the pieces that are deeper into the exhibit installed them first and are working backwards.
Sure. I mean, I'll go up to the mummy. What kind does it feel like? The mummy is magic, or it feel like it's like some kind of thaumaturgy's on it, or?
Oh, looks like it feels like it could be both.
Hmm. Okay. Let me check my flaws.
Okay.
Oh, she doesn't have my merits or flaws on it. Well, shit. Let me double check. I don't remember if I have curiosity or not.
I'm about 80% sure you don't. It doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. Well, I won't be as stupid as I'm gonna be then.
Okay.
Is there cameras in here?
No, but you do see those similar red flashing dot things like you were seeing out on the main exhibit. You're seeing something similar to that.
Sure.
Again, within the boundary, right on the inside edge of the boundary lines for each one of the exhibits. And like I said, each exhibit is in as much as they can get into those glass display cases. They have, and she's one of those particular items.
Yeah, she's completely enclosed, right?
Correct.
All right. I'm gonna leave.
Okay. All right. Now you're going to try to go back out the same way you came, or you're going to try to finish out the exhibit because there's more of it as best you can tell.
Yeah, finish out the exhibit because there's supposed to be a couple of things that ping in here, and I've only found one.
Yeah. Well, she pinged too. So.
Right.
So far, you found two in the hole. You found one in the exhibit and the one outside in the permanent exhibit. So.
Right. So there should be two more in this one.
Yeah. As you step around, basically what happens here is this is more of a like a circular, like a tomb a tomb set, and there's an opening in the wall over to your right hand side. As you step through there, the first thing that catches your eye, almost like the centerpiece of this part of the room, is a large, what looks to be jade, straight blade, almost like a Tai Chi style sword. That pings.
Okay. I will take video of it.
Okay. As you approach, you see that there's actually what looks to be like a magnifying glass that is almost like the blade is here, and there's a magnifying glass right in front of it. As you approach, the magnifying glass appears to be showing the folds in the blade.
Cool. I'll look at it.
It's very well crafted. At this point, it's well crafted enough that after you lose count of counting the blades at least 3 times in the process of trying to count them.
Sweet. That's a lot of folds.
Like I said, and it has a greenish, like a greenish tint to it. But just by looking at the blade, you can tell that it's not. It looks like it's got like the tint of jade, but from what you know of lore and what little you do know of antiquities, the natural jade gemstone wouldn't cut that way.
But if jade had been powdered and folded in.
Yeah. Looks like that's probably a possibility.
Okay. Well, like I said, I take note of that and then move out.
Okay. As you continue walking through, you find what looks to be the armor hall part of this particular exhibit, and here's where you find the final ping. This one, a suit of folded chainmail. Though this smell doesn't look to be. It's not like your standard, European male that you're used to seeing. This male is more of the rings are a more flatter oval, where the European is more of a the tighter, closer together circles.
Sure.
Under the actual chain itself. Now, this is not in a this one isn't in the case, but it does
No.
have a it has a tall glass box around it. It's an open topped box, but it's tall enough that it looks like the average person wouldn't be able to reach over it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Under the actual chain itself looks to be a some type of a leather jerkin. And this is pretty much just a full suit of armor.
Okay. I'm gonna look around to see where the guards are. If I don't see any and I don't hear any footsteps with heightened senses in my ears,
You don't.
like whenever they're not coming my way or whenever after they pass through or whatever, I'm gonna set my candle down.
Okay.
Transform into a bat, and then actually land on the armor to feel if it like gives any kind of like resonance, like if I can kind of feel what its magical effect is or anything.
All right.
Heightened sense.
As you do so, you hear something.
Okay.
And as a bat with the echolocation, it's killing your ears.
Oh, okay.
Soon as you break the plane of the height on that glass case,
Yeah.
you hear an alarm go off.
Okay, cool. I'm still gonna land on it and see if I get anything.
A little something. It's faint, but it's something.
Sure. But then I'm gonna get dumb. Since the alarm's already going off, I will, get off the armor, go back down. Couldn't feel anything from it. I take out my phone, take pictures of it, and then if I can get to the room before anybody else does, obviously not looking like Woodrow, I will break the case and take a sliver of that mummy.
All right. I am going to need you to make an attack roll on that case.
Okay. Like I said, I already blew for claws.
All right. So how many dozens of dice do I need for you?
15.
Okay. It's not too bad. Just grab a couple more.
And I'll spend a blood to activate my potence for auto successes on damage.
Okay, copy that. All right. Damn, you got 10s in here.
Yeah, obviously the team's double.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. 10. And before you roll the damage, I will give you this.
Sure.
As you go to try to break the case, even with your incredible strength, it doesn't give.
Okay.
All you get is a very small hairline crack in it.
Sure, they had to have a way to get her in here, though.
Yep.
So I will attempt to attack the pedestal that the case is on underneath it.
All right, there you go. All right, that's better. It does crack. It cracks enough that you can see the inside of it is hollow.
Great. But I'm just gonna punch up through that hollow part, and I don't want to get a lot of the mummy. I just want to get a sliver to test something.
Now, as the moment that it cracks, though, you can see inside the case.
Mm-hmm.
This thing looks like it's immediately beginning to deteriorate.
Okay. Can't stop that now.
Yep. Yep. Apparently, this was an airtight case.
Yep, I fucked that up. So yeah, I'll take a sliver of the mummy, a piece of it, and I'll put it in one of my vials.
Okay.
And then to try to preserve the mummy around the edge where I did this, I will activate 11 Bolt 5 and become like a raging lightning storm and try to melt it back together.
Creative. I'll give you that one. I'm not gonna have you roll. I'll give you that. That is creative.
Okay, so it's fused
It
back
did
together.
some damage. It did a little damage.
Yep.
You can tell it did a little damage because there's parts of the bone. You were basically able to reach in there and get a hold of basically just a small, just the pretty much like a fingernail sized tip of one of the fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Before she started the air started to get to her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, but you're able to get it sealed back.
Okay.
And
then
about that time as you do so, you both hear and see a pair of security guards and a pair of what look to be construction workers.
Okay, I will
enter into that room.
I run to the other room because they have like 10 dots of decks right now. Because of my security.
Yeah.
So I bolt in front of them and I will shift to bat and obfuscate and fly away as a obfuscated bat.
Yep. Right back out the entrance door.
Yep.
Whole time, the alarm still going off.
Well, if I've already triggered the alarm while they're over there, I'm gonna just take that jade sword then.
Go ahead and try to get into it too.
Yeah, I mean, like they're already over there or whatever. I'm just gonna like be like, oh, this jade sword's mine because like when I shift forms, it'll shift with me. So
yeah, it's one of those. You know what? Fuck it, I'll just steal the sword too. Shit.
yeah, I wanted to investigate, but now I'm gonna investigate this one up close.
Okay. All right. Same thing as you hitting the case. Obviously, only gives a hairline fracture, but appears to
I'm
be
not gonna do that. I'm just gonna like
same thing.
Where they meet. I'm just gonna run my claw around it really quickly.
And pretty much just unseal it.
Yep, and I'll take like I'll actually spend for celerity, and I'll take like 3 actions to do it in super speed.
Cool. Now this one, as the air hits it, it seems to be it must not be quite as old as that mummy specimen because this one it actually remains intact when the air hits it.
Sure. Yeah, and then I'll immediately put it on me and shift with it so it's not exposed to any more air. Anyway. And then I will wait for, I guess, more guards to come in, like listening with my heightened bat senses and with auspex. So if like people are coming through, I'm gonna open the door. I'll know, and if it doesn't sound like anybody is, then I'll just open the door and walk out and leave.
Well, you're not quite able to really make out the footsteps over this outstandingly excruciatingly loud alarm, but you are able to see a couple more guards that have bust into the room.
Cool. Dart out as a bat. Whee.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm patient. So at some point, probably the guards will come through a door, or police officers will come through the door, or somebody will open an outside door, and I will leave.
All right.
As a wee bat.
All right, and off Woodrow flies into the night.
My declared intentions are I'm going to take the sword. Since my haven is finally built, and it's like a fortress.
Well, it's built enough. It's built to the point of being, inhabitable anyway. There's a few small things here and there that still need to be done, but
That's cool. I will, I take the stuff back. I will take out my tomes from my occult library of 4, and I will be referencing the items via picture, and the one that I have, I will be putting them, actually, I guess I'll vacuum seal, like use a vacuum sealer and vacuum seal the sword if air is
Okay.
doing it damage.
Well, it doesn't look like it is, but with you knowing what you know about, old stuff
Mhm.
in general, there's a chance it could.
Right. While I'm researching it, at the very least, I'll vacuum seal it. And then I will start looking into them with Occult Library. And then the dumb thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a point of blood and soak like normal human vitae on the mummified thing, and then I'm going to squeeze it to see if it's like if the mummy in there is a really old kindred that's been sealed up for like thousands of years that hasn't had any blood, and I'm going to squeeze it to try to taste the blood.
You're right. That was really done. It doesn't really seem like it does anything.
Cool. Then I will just be doing experiments on it to see why, it is magical. I'll see if it's like at some point I'll probably do a scene where I get Enzo in and he sees if it's a fetter to a wraith or what the deal is, but I'm going to be testing it for like magical things.
All right, cool. Like I said, just over the course of the month, just do take care of it. Like I said, don't worry. You don't necessarily need to worry about me being there. Just make sure that you have somebody in the scene with you that can make the roll, so I can physically see them later.
Sure. So do you just want me to roll like a cult medicine roll, or like a cult rolls and medicine rolls and stuff like that, or what?
Actually, apply any kind of roll that you think would help you.
Okay. Sure.
All right.
I will do
So,
that.
all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, after the what was gonna be, a nice quiet museum tour turns into a heist, we will we'll see what becomes of Mr. Dannington's exploits here on the next episode of Tarheel by Dark.